Hello, starting to get really hot here in Japan, so I've sculpted the shade to make this quick video. I had a couple of questions asking about how I came to be living in Japan or working at this temple. So I thought I'd answer those queries, just a short video, make it as concise as possible. Anyway, so I'm London born and bred, UK, and I moved here 10 years ago. With my wife and then infant daughter. My wife's Japanese and her brother-in-law is actually the priest here. It's Danji Temple, Buddhist temple in Nagasaki. He's the priest, so he offered me the job. Before that, in London, I was the caretaker of a small private school, which was getting too small once we had our baby. Came with a flat which was really small. So we moved here, February 2010. Now this temple, Daionji, it's Nagasaki, it's of the Jodo branch of Buddhism, which is very sort of, I don't know what you say, steady Eddie, like Church of England type thing. It's not very strict or whatever. We're next door to a Zen temple where I believe the monks there, they can't marry or have girlfriends. I could not be right about that, but I know it's a pretty easy going branch Jodoshu. It's kind of middle of the road, and most Japanese are Jodoshu. Well, they say here, you're born Shinto, married Christian, and die Buddhist. So you have a Shinto ceremony, like the pagan religion, or the ancient religion of Japan. And then you're married a Buddhist ceremony at a proper temple. You're married at you have a Christian thing. You have a Westerner, a Gaijin, sort of dress up as a priest. And you kind of have the white wedding, that's it. No real Christian thing, but you have a guy masquerading as a priest. Doesn't have to be a priest. I know guys that do it, and it's just like a part-time gig. And anyway, but when you die, that's when it's serious, and you've got to be seen off right. So you get the old funeral here. But anyway, so I moved here. I mean, when I first met my wife, when she was a student in England, and she said she came from Nagasaki, I couldn't believe it. I thought Nagasaki, because of the bombing. I thought no one could live there. I thought it was like an irradiated zone, Nagasaki and Hiroshima. I really did. So I was really surprised to hear it. And then once we sort of got it on, and I came here a few months later after we met, which was 2003, summer of 2003, first time in Japan. I mean, I might as well have been going to Mars. It just completely blew me away. It's a place I'd always been fascinated by, from having started judo as a kid, and then watching things like Monkey Magic on the TV, ninjas and all that sort of good stuff. But anyway, I came to Japan a few more times, 2004, which is when I started helping my now boss around the temple, Umkazan. He was quite surprised. We were at a wedding, my brother-in-law's wedding, the priest, in 2004, and I said to him, I'm really halting Japanese, I could barely speak it then, and I'd had a few. I said, look, can I help out in the temple if you need any help? And he was really surprised. He said later on it's the first time he'd really spoken to a foreigner. And he said to me, all right, you can help, but just remember I'm the boss, what I say goes. So we got that one sorted out pretty quickly. And so I started helping out and learning the ropes, as it were. 2005, I got married here. Friends and family flew out. And I got married at this temple at Daionji. 2006, we first moved out here. We stayed for a year. Then I was teaching English for a living, picking up work here and there. It was a bit scrappy. And then I got offered the live-in job as a janitor at a small private school, which was right in my hometown of Kingston upon Thames, London, and it was a pretty good deal, so I moved back. And then 3 years later, once we'd had our first daughter, because it's just a one-bedroom flat that came with the job, so we moved out here, February 2010, like I say. Lived at the temple for a bit. For the first year I was kind of on probation. I mean, I got offered the job this time. I teach English still, just for a bit of extra money, but my main gig is working at the temple. I mean, I'm just janitor, gardener, general dog's body, jack of all trades. I come from a building background, which is kind of useful. You can plaster a wall or rebuild a bit of falling down wall or whatever I can do within my power. It's just me and my boss, Kazan. I mean, he's been talking about retiring now since I've been here, so 10 years. I mean, he's 73 now or something. When he goes, I don't know what's going to happen, because it'll just be me, and he is seriously good. He's sort of slowed down a bit now. I do most of the manual stuff, but he still deals with builders, their quotes and stuff. And a lot of the builders here, I mean, it's just a matter of fact, they're not that comfortable dealing with foreigners. My Japanese isn't that good to be able to talk with them completely fluently, because there's a lot of slang and stuff. Anyway, that's a different thing. Who can think about tomorrow, just deal with today. Yeah, so that's so we stayed at the temple for a while. So the first year anyway, I was being paid just underneath the tax threshold. See how it worked out. Then the year went by, everyone was happy with what I was doing, I was happy. So I got put on the official payroll and stuff, and it's pretty good. I've got no complaints. 10 years, longest job I've ever had. I've ever held down. Back in the day I used to change jobs quite a lot. Well, that's when you could, before this worldwide recession. Yeah, so I'm quite happy here. Living in Japan, that's a whole different video. But I've always kind of had the fascination with Japan. That's not really changed. I mean, there are lots of little gripes and irritations and stuff, obviously. It's not going to be roses. But I've always had a fascination in this country, and it still persists. I sometimes dream I'm back in England, and I always feel massively disappointed. I'm trying to sort out a job and trying to sort out somewhere for my wife and kids to live because they're going to come over a bit. I always think, oh, what was I doing? Why did I leave Japan? And when I wake up, it's always, oh, thank God I didn't leave. So yeah, I guess I must like it here. So yeah, don't live anymore. Got a flat, bought a flat. We're lucky enough to be able to buy a flat, so moved out of the temple in the end because we had our second daughter. So we got a place of our own, but it's dead nearby. It's like 2 minutes walk from the temple. So what other questions? Am I a Buddhist? Yeah, I guess I am. I'm not that religious. That's why Jodoshu Buddhism suits me. I've got it's almost like not a religion, but that again is a whole different video. Sounds like I'm trying to slide the question, but Buddhism and religion, is it really a religion? Yeah, I could go into that one, but yeah, so I am Buddhist, but it's no big deal here as well. People still, when they say, oh, what religion are you? And I say, oh, you must be, no, or they say, oh, you must be Christian, you're Western. I say, no, I'm Buddhist. Like, oh, you're Buddhist, oh, right, oh. So there was never a requirement that I had to like convert to Buddhism or something to work at this temple. It was never even suggested. Very easy going. Yeah, so that's basically it. I mean, I've done a few other videos showing sort of the grounds and stuff of the temple. I once been by the koi pond, which is my favourite part of the temple, or one of them anyway. Well, the prettiest possibly. But I've done the videos of that. Yeah, so that's just 10 years here and still rocking. All right, I'll slide off there. Coming up to 8 minutes. Okay, cheers.